Good YouTube, this IQ Domino coming back at y'all with another motherfucker bang of a video. Now today, we gonna be going over The Law of Attraction is Real by Andrew Tate. Let's see what this speech about, man. I'm really involved on the Law of Attraction, especially recently. I've been really in tune with the Law of Attraction, really understanding the Law of Attraction of letting the abundance come to you, but just maintain your energy and maintain your mindset and maintain the consistency of doing what you need to do every day. Let's see what he think about.
When I was
Oh shit! Wait a minute! God damn it!
poor, I thought everybody was poor.
Yeah.
And then I got rich, and now I think everybody's rich. It's amazing how you see what you are in the world.
Yeah.
It's like if you're a thief, you don't trust anyone because all you do is steal. So you're afraid to do business deals with people because you're a thief. When we do business deals with people, we just shake hands because we know that we're well-intentioned and we don't even need a contract. We'll just talk to a war room guy and say, yeah, okay, good deal, shake hands, done. Split the money at the end. Because we know that we don't steal, so they don't steal. So it's a win-win. Especially successful people. Successful people are uninterested in stealing because we'd rather everybody win and keep the friendship and keep the network and keep the positive orgons and keep the good karma than make a little bit extra money. So it's
You know, I really have learned recently that it's better to be a giver than it is being a motherfucker who steals, because that shit come back to you so plentiful. Like it comes to you so plentifully. Like you get way more than you give a lot of the times, and it come in different ways. It don't always come in finances. Sometimes it just comes in the sense of peace. I don't really know how to define it. I used to look at it like I was like, man, if you a person who give a lot, man, you kind of a sucker. You just think you just doing this shit for the sake of you don't want nobody to look at you a certain kind of way. But the reality of it is that, man, it's always nice to be benefit somebody. Especially when I was a waiter, I noticed that life is really different when you gotta depend upon people to give to you. You know what I'm saying? And they gave me a perception on like it's always necessary to give to people, especially when it's kind of like their necessity. It's kind of like an extra. It's kind of like it's something that it really is a necessity in their life. So, and plus, it's always good to give to people that's like working. You know what I'm saying? And the biggest piece of what he just said really was like, you really do start to want to see everybody win, but you gotta. But what I realize now is that sometimes everybody don't always want to win. You know what I'm saying? And that's hard for me, especially as a hard pill to swallow for the people that you might love. But it's just the way the world go around. You know what I'm saying? So
amazing what you see in the world. And if you become a person who is happy and successful and can take care of himself and adopt struggles, you're going to start finding those other people who do the same thing, and then you're going to build a network and become fantastic.
Why do you think the shit has to happen for people to believe in a higher power? Because look at life, look at the human body, the anatomy, the central nervous system, the brain. Something's crazy.
I will say this too, though. It started getting replaced by people who actually got that mindset and that will and that drive to really do what's necessary. I will say that too. You know what I'm saying? Like, not everybody really can come on this journey, but by you getting rid of those people, and I ain't gonna say rid of, but distancing yourself from those people and seeing them for who they are. You know what I'm saying? You get a new set of people that's like behind you, that's with you, that's teaching you, that you can learn from. And I'm gonna be honest, most people is not like that. Like, especially people in my past life. What I mean is like the military or trading world or the business world that I used to fuck with, like in the beginning when I first got started, but they're not here now. It's not because, you know, that we just wasn't cool. It was really because we had different mentalities when it came down to it. Like, I always looked at it like this. Everybody say they want to do something. Everybody want to have that drive and they want to speak on it. But only a few people really are going to get to it without you having to be over their shoulder all the time. Without you having to remind them of things. Without you reminding them about the time. What I started to do was I started to take a step back and I started saying, you know what? Let them be who they are. And by them showing me who they are, and I started looking at it from their perspective, I started just saying, it's necessary for us to not fuck with each other like how we used to. You know what I'm saying? It's necessary for me and you not to be talking as much as we used to. It's necessary for me and you not to be, you know, talking about certain topics like we used to, because we are distant. We have a distance between us. I had this gap that between us is too great. You know what I'm saying? It's to a point that I see everything that you do as like a detrimental towards where I know you want to go. Because I have such a, I have gained so much knowledge, I have gained so much foresight compared to these motherfuckers, is that when I let them go though, I started really seeing that these motherfuckers make me look at shit way different because they got further foresight than I do. So I was so busy trying to give out to these motherfuckers that I noticed that these motherfuckers got way more than I. They know more than I know. These the people I need to be talking to. These the people I need to be hanging around. These the people, and the jokes is still the same. This is what I had to realize too when I, as I matured, which is the jokes is still the same. The way you talk to people, the way you joke around people, it still can be the same way. It does not have to be greatly different. You know what I'm saying? But the thing about it is that you have to really know who you are. You know what I'm saying? To be able to do that. And once you know who you are, you end up start being around individuals that really know who they are. What you begin to realize is that these individuals just really don't know who they are. They're still trying to figure it out. So I do believe in the law of attraction in a big way. You know what I'm saying? So, and I'm be honest, the people who decide to really like get on that train, they evolve as well. They evolve as well. But most people don't get on that train. You know what I'm saying? Some people just looking at the train. Some people like running behind the train. And some people are at the head of the fucking train, leading it. So it's my job to get as further as I can, went as far as I can, as much as I can. That's how I look at what he literally just said. You know what I'm saying?
He does.
Yep.
So why do you think that people have to wait? Because the law of attraction is a big thing, and I've been listening to you. Do you think you could have actually spoke a lot of your misery into existence because you're saying what's going to happen?
That's a good question. So the first thing, the reason I think people need God only when things hit the fan, it's the same thing we discussed earlier about people not being grateful for anything until they lose it. It's the same mindset. We go to God when we have problems, but when everything's going good, we don't thank him enough. And that's one thing I try and make sure I never do. I don't pray to God to ask for things. I pray to God to say thank you for things I already have. That's one of the first mindset things I try to change, is to show gratefulness to him. By extension, I show gratefulness to my life. As for speaking things into existence, I've actually thought about that, and a lot of people have said that to me. Andrew, stop putting it in the universe, because you're saying they're going to do these things, and then those things happen. But then I also feel like by saying them, I protect myself. Imagine I never told the world 25 times they're going to put me in jail for no reason. Like the second I went to jail for no reason, that helped me a lot. So I'm kind of predicting the future as a shield. I'm not trying to speak them into existence. I'm trying to predict the future as a shield, but I understand what you're saying, and it's a fine line. I have to be very careful because
words are powerful.
Oh, they're absolutely powerful. And I also don't want to make anything come true, right? Because it's amazing how you can also self-fulfill things.
It's a before he even gets started to that, when he says it's a fine line, when I look at it, it's like it's a connection between the world, that you have a certain connection that you have with the world, especially when you're an influencer. You have a connection with the world. You know what I'm saying? And especially when you're a leader, you have a connection with the world. And because your followers 9 times out of 10 have connections, they are greatly connected to the world, where they only see what's going around them and they only focus on their circumstances. So you kind of have to speak to the world, but at the same time, it's like you want to talk to God. You want to have wherever the higher source of power that y'all look at. I call it God, universe, etc. You want to also have a really like consistent divine connection with God. And once you have a real divine connection with God, like a true relationship with God, it's almost like when you look back at the world, you kind of judge it less, and you kind of get really picky off of what you think is best for you to choose what to influence in your followers, in your team. Because once you get picky like that, you start understanding what's best. You know what I'm saying? You start understanding, when you make decisions like that, you're making decisions based on what you see in the future. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of understand what he's saying on that. Because me personally, my personal experience, what I started really realizing from having a team is that everybody really not meant to have the same conversation with me. You know what I'm saying? This guy might have we might have a conversation about, the mentality that you need to have, or what's the greatest purpose behind not judging people, how judging people can really hold you back from seeing the future and really being grateful for different situations and also taking as much as you can out of a situation for your future. If you judge it, you can't see the big picture of everything. We might talk about that. This next person, we might talk about the fact that, bro, you too emotional. You need to take, sometimes you need to take your emotion away from things and understand that you need to lean more on yourself and use your self-worth, the way you view yourself, to guide you. You know what I'm saying? This motherfucker, we might talk about a skill, but I'm not about to talk about the first thing, which was the judgment to a person that's emotional, because the emotional guy don't judge. But I'm not about to talk about the emotional shit to the guy that judge, because this guy, he's not that emotional when it comes down to the same thing. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like you got to be real selective to your teammates, who you decide, what you decide to do. And that's the same thing with women, for my viewers who really watch me, for the women. That's the same thing with women. That's the same thing with the business world. That's the same thing with your relationships. You start getting very selective when you have a real connection with God. You start being real selective off of what you want to do. Now, I'm always say this because it's very important to me to say, is I'm not the best, you know what I'm saying? I'm not exactly a saint. I'm not exactly a saint. When I'm talking about God, I'm not exactly a saint. I'm not perfect. I'm not perfect at all. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to always say, for the motherfuckers that's watching, you ain't got to be exactly what everybody say you should be to have a relationship with God. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's really going into the law of attraction, because let's be honest, the law of attraction is rules. It's just simple rules to the universe. So it's rules that God moved by. So I'm gonna need y'all to really, understand what I'm saying when I say that when you have a connection with God, you start being more selective with the words that you speak to the world. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I look at it. So I kind of understand what he's saying when he say what he's saying, because he's saying, like, literally off him saying that he got out of a situation because they were aware that he said, y'all can put me in jail for no reason. I mean, I don't really know the situation. I don't even know if it's true or not. But if he's saying that, I can only take his word for it. And I could see how it could play out. You know what I'm saying? So
I have to be very careful because
Words are powerful.
oh, they're absolutely powerful. And I also don't want to speak. I also don't want to make anything come true, right? Because it's amazing how you can also self-fulfill things. You can make things come true by self-fulfilling them. And I don't want to do that. I don't want to say something. It's hard for me to think of an example off the top of my head. But if I say, I believe they're going to break in my house and they're going to kill me or whatever, when I hear noises at night, it fucks my head up. Who knows what I'm going to do? I might badly react. Who knows? So I don't want to self-fulfill either. But I do have, when I have a strong suspicion and I feel that something's going to happen, I feel like I have to say it to try and protect myself. And yeah, words are absolutely and utterly powerful. And language is a magic spell, and you have to be very careful how you use it.
So I can drive around the city at any time and absorb energy from other individuals. Like Shang Tsung, I can steal from them, and it makes me strong. I have a whole bunch of stuff to teach you. But the truth is, when you drive your car, no one cares. When you walk in a room, no one cares. When you speak, no one cares. It's true, no one gives a fuck. If I walk in a room, listen, I pull up in the Lambo, one bitch at least in the passenger seat. I walk in the club. Everyone knows, even in the big loud club, everyone knows I've walked in. They can smell it. A predator is here. I steal, and then, oh, who's this hot bitch? That's the guy look at his cars outside. I can steal all the energy. And then what I do is I start flexing champagne in their face. And they give me more energy. You can't do those things. You can't do those things. What can you do to elicit positive attention from the universe? And the answer is probably not very much. And we need to change that. Because if you can elicit positive attention.
I'm going to say this, though, what he just said. When people give you that kind of energy, right, they looking at you, they see your power. Let's say he a very powerful guy, and which he is. He has the Lambo. He has the bad bitch that everybody want. What you gotta understand is that there's a double-edged sword to this. Now, the people who already got something going on are gonna look to him and be like, they're gonna see him as a source of motivation. They're gonna see him as a source of influence, a source of like a mentorship. But they're gonna be like another side of that that's very envious, like very devious, they're gonna look at him like somebody, a mark. They're gonna look at him different ways that, man, I can take something from this guy. I can go at this guy. Let me see what I can take from this guy, because it's another kind of energy that's in this world. It's not just positive. It's not just negative. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm gonna say is that yes, attention is definitely a great power, a great source that you can use because you can make impact with it. But not all attention is good attention. You know what I'm saying? I really want to make that a point because, dude, motherfucker, you have a diamond chain on, thinking that, oh yeah, everybody see me. I'm looking fucking OC. I'm looking fly. I'm looking fresh as shit. I'm the freshest motherfucker in here. I ain't never looking around. Ain't nobody else shining like me. You go in your car, drive home, motherfucker, bust in your house and try to take all your shit and rob your ass. That's the world we live in. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, Andrew Tate, a powerful guy. I heard that he got different people in different areas and like multiple people in a building at a time that know who he is and know how he move, and that like watch how to look out for him like some real life mafia type shit. But for the guys that's just up and coming, that's really getting their bag, that's really getting to it, that's really on their grind, and they really starting to see that attention is traction, it's starting to traction. I want y'all to keep in mind that yeah, this shit is positive, but this shit can be just a lot of attention. But if you flexing and shit, like there's a double-edged sword to that. Like he said, he put the champagne in their face, like he flexing on them. You know what I'm saying? He coming there in the Lambo. I just want y'all to understand that what I'm basically saying is that you got to really be ready for that side too. You know what I'm saying? You can't be the type of motherfucker that's just moving in this kind of world and you not prepared for that. Me, I'm militant. Now, I will always say, as an infantryman, I've always been good with my weapon. You know what I'm saying? I've always been good with the AR. I've always been good with shooting down range up to 300 meters. I can hit you. You know what I'm saying? I know how to shoot. I'm not gonna miss you. I'm not gonna miss you if in a club. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna miss you in a parking lot. I'm not gonna miss you in the road. You know what I'm saying? That's the fate I got in myself when it come down to me using my AR, when it come to me using my weapons. So that's one thing, right? And then I got these. He a fucking kickboxing champion. Alright? You gotta just hey, keep this shit in mind too. He's a fucking kickboxing champion. So if you ain't got no fucking hands and you got all you focus on getting all this money, you ain't got no fucking hands, bro. You ain't in shape. I want y'all to know, bro, you are a fucking lick to somebody. Somebody looking at you like you a fucking lick. Trust me when I tell you, brother, because this is the world we fucking live in. If you really got some shit going on, you gonna get your ass licked. Alright, now, like I said, that's a positive and that's a negative to both of this shit. They got people who can look at you as a partner. Some people can look at you as a mentor, a more source of motivation. They got positive shit that come from that. But when you move a certain way, people get envious, dog. That's just the world we live in. So you gotta be wary. You gotta be wary of both, because you gotta be prepared for both. If you in this position but you don't know how to communicate, you don't know how to express yourself in that kind of position. If you got a business and you don't know how to express your business, oh man, nigga, you ain't gonna get no business. You gonna have to literally rely on a salesman or a marketer to get business. You cannot mouthpiece your way into business because you're not prepared. If a motherfucker really try to rob you with no gun, just straight hands and like probably a nice stick, hey bro, give me everything you got. You can't whip that boy ass even though he ain't got no weapon. You can't even whip him. He gonna just take everything from you. Or if you one of the motherfuckers who really can't fight at all, and he ain't got no stick, and you can't fight at all, he just straight up stand up over you and just, let me get everything you got. Give me your car keys. Give me your house keys. Damn, give me your phone. Tell me where you live. Tell me where your house at. Motherfucker, you ain't got nothing, you know what I'm saying? So you gotta be prepared for that shit too. You gotta have hands. Be prepared for both, because that's when you really ready to live the life that you wanna live. You're not ready to live the life that you wanna live just because you got the attention from other people. You ready to live the life that you ready to live the life you wanna live when you constantly building yourself up to be in certain situations. You know what I'm saying? If you're not building yourself up to be in different situations, then come on, bro. You essentially a lick, bro. You essentially a mark. And I'm gonna be honest, that's how I'm gonna look at you. That's how I would look at you. If I look at you, you a tiny guy, and I can tell you look like you don't know how to fight. You got a Lambo, but you talking reckless, you talking out of pocket. You gotta know how to move in this world. You know what I'm saying? But if you a type motherfucker who out the way, you talking your shit, but you talking your shit in your space. You're not talking your shit in other people's space. You know what I'm saying? You moving correctly. You gotta know how to move in this world, bro. This is a world. This is the world. This ain't all of that. This right here, this ain't about God. Like, this is about the world we live in. For real shit. You trying to tell you.
From the universe. You become stronger as an individual. You develop powers. Like I have powers. I have the powers you wouldn't believe. The powers to go up to a bitch and say, "You are beautiful." And her go, "Thank you." And within 10 minutes, her be leaving the club with me. That's powers. I have powers. Like a wizard. You don't have none of that shit. Because you don't have energy inside of you. I have energy inside of me I can expel, like Raiden. And that's one of the secrets to the law of attraction of the universe. Most people don't think of the world that way. Everything's an energy exchange. And you have to make sure you're winning the energy exchange. It's like chess.
You know, when I was
It really is, though. I like what he just said.
poor,
I like what he just said because that's really my whole point of all this. Is that when you have that kind of knowledge in you, and you have that wisdom in you, let's say for the sake of him playing chess, because he played chess so much, he has developed the skills that he needs to be in the business world. He has developed the understanding to be able to adapt the situation because he developed that mindset. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, that's the fucking attraction. That's what gets people, that's the law of attraction. When you have that kind of in you because you have been consistently developing it. Now he fights, right? And now he's in the fighting world. He has built up the mentality here that he needs to, when certain things come around him, he can take advantage of it. When a woman comes around him, he can talk his shit and get her. He say, "Hey, beautiful." He can get her because he has talked to multiple different women before he met that woman that he just met. So I've always looked at, I've always looked at life like, if I'm gonna get the woman I want, the woman that I want, I'm gonna have to go up to her and talk to her. The same way how I would believe if I want the business I want, I gotta be able to either communicate, I gotta be able to market, or I gotta have a very marketable skill. One of those things, I have to really master at least, which I want to master all of them. But it's literally those things that makes you attractive. It's like this. The best way I can explain the law of attraction in my eyes is like columns, dog. It's like columns, right? You start at level 0 and you build up. Keep in mind, this opportunity is an opportunity that you get at mastery. I say this is the opportunity that you get at mastery. You down here, you leveling up. This you jump a couple levels. This will happen. You don't get it. You don't get it. Well, you can't really reach it. You can't reach it. Almost there. Alright, you got it. You know what I'm saying? Because that's essentially how I look at the law of attraction. When you get to the point where when you get to the point that you've done it so much that literally by you being around, because you know what to do, everything is attracted to you. Literally because you have a certain understanding of everything, because you have a certain knowledge of everything. The opportunities that you want in your life is right in front of you right now. Like, I understand, like, a lot of guys, they think that they gotta go to college, which I'm all being for going to college, but they got, bro, if you want to, like, some people go to college for a lifestyle. Bro, you have a lifestyle, right? You can have a lifestyle right now. If you was to, like, really study, like, 20 books, you would have a certain lifestyle right now. The lifestyle you want, you would have it right. You wouldn't even have to wait 4 years. You would have it right now. Because we all know there's ways to make money online. There's ways to make money in your neighborhood. There's ways to make money everywhere you go. You know what I'm saying? There are certain guys, they think they gotta have the chain, the diamonds, and all that shit, and they got a dude who's literally, dresses kind of bummy with a haircut, and he gets women right now with no jewelry, with no diamonds, with no fancy car. And they got dudes with fancy cars because they never talk to women. They never talk to no women. Why they were just chasing the bag. They can easily get the money, but they can't easily get the women because it's like columns. You have to, but you gotta move like you already there. for you to really stay motivated, but for you to really have that identity of I'm using everything I got so I can get it. When you're using everything you got so you can get the opportunity, it hit different. Why? Because you're putting it all in. You know what I'm saying? You putting all your energy in. You know what I'm saying? You putting everything you got into everything that you do. And it's hard for you not to, consistently be motivated because you're not just putting your energy in that one area. You're putting your energy in all areas. And now you're like, damn. And it's like, yeah, nigga. Of course you're going, everything gonna be attracted to you because you always putting all your energy in things. And now that you always put your energy in things, everything is attracted to you because you have worked on every single fucking column. And you put your energy into every single column. And you motivated in every single column. Why? Because you naturally always thinking about the next level. What's the next level? What's the next thing? I'm not there yet. You know what I'm saying? Or I'm getting better. I've gotten better. Oh, well, I'm thinking about this now. Well, now I'm thinking about this, and I'm going to go ahead and keep that to the side. I want to get to it, but I got to keep it to the side because I got to get this done. Now you're getting that done. Oh, yeah, and now you motivated about that. You motivate, and then you got another thing. You motivated about that. You got people in your life. You motivated about that. Now you coming all the way back to around that thing that you've been waiting on. Boom, you've been waiting on this. Boom, you've been waiting on this. Boom, you've been waiting on this. Boom, and it's like it's a rotation again and again and again and again and again, and everything start coming to you, bro. It just start coming to you because this is happening. You know what I'm saying? This is happening. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I look at the law of attraction, me personally. But that's all I really got for y'all, man. You like this type of content, leave a like and subscribe because I drop bangers like this all the time, man. I'ma see y'all when I see y'all, man.